Hey there, Scorpio. How are you today? My name is Sherilyn, and I'm here to do your weekly tarot reading. This one is going to be for Monday, July 28th, right through Thursday, July 31st. Okay, I'll be back on Wednesday to do your bonus readings and try to get you through the weekend. So that's kind of the whole deal, right? We're just going to pull cards and see what Spirit wants to bring up or talk about, and we'll go from there, okay? This one is going to be for my Scorpios. All right, Scorpios. Let's see. What you got? What you got? We are starting this one out with the Four of Wands, okay? Followed by the King of Wands, and then the Strength card. So this is your backstory or your recent past going into the reading. Currently, I have you with the Lovers, the Chariot, the Hangman. In the near future, we're looking at the Page of Swords, the Hermit, and Judgment. All right, bottom of the deck for this reading is actually the Page of Wands. Alrighty. So, Page of Wands. This tells me that there is definitely an element right now to your current personality that is not so sure that you want to be tied into anything specific. You're looking to be a little bit more of a free spirit, you know, a little bit more of a adventuresome type person. You're looking for adventure right now. Looking for something to get your mind off of all of the that's always on. You want to just go relax and have fun for a while, kind of. That's what it feels like. That's the undercurrent to your reading. The card at the center of your read, so from almost every direction it plays into the equation, is actually the Chariot. So this speaks of forward motion and victory. It also speaks of things that have possibly been stagnant, suddenly moving very fast, okay? So we'll see how they play in as we go, but that's what we got so far. So here in the recent past, we've got the Four of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and the Strength card. Four of Wands is speaking of a higher level soulmate or of a situation that's very destined. Okay, so something that you are destined to be a part of or destined to be in a situation. Okay, Knight of Wands is something that's very impulsive, very fast moving, very fiery, very passionate, right? So I feel like in the recent past you came into contact with somebody that is definitely a higher level soulmate to you, somebody intended to be in your life. And I feel like things between the two of you just clicked like instantly. You know, you met and it was like you've known each other forever. Or like, it's like the type of deal where you meet, you go home that night together, and then that's where you stay kind of deal. It just really took off really fast, okay? The challenge in this situation that we're talking about right here was actually the Strength card. So, I don't know if this is saying that it was your strength of character got in the way. Something here was too strong. I mean, somebody had too much inner strength towards this situation. Somebody had something. There was some strength around this situation that caused a grief in it. Possibly an inability to be vulnerable is possibly what this was. A lot of ego, a lot of, you know, fake walls built up and so that you can protect yourself. I don't know if these were yours or the other person's or both, but this seems to be what part of the challenge was in the recent past, okay? Makes no difference because this has already happened. We can't change it, but this is whatever was going on there, and this is however it played out is what's affecting the rest of the reading. So it looks as though the two of you are still connected, because here in the current I have the Lovers, then the Chariot, and the Hangman is in the challenge position. So with the Lovers here, this means that whatever this dynamic is that the two of you have formed here, it does feel like it could have started situationship-y, but it looks like it's definitely a relationship at this point. However, it's a relationship that seems quite riddled with some sort of confusion and indecision. There's a lot of uncertainty that swirls around this relationship for some reason. Maybe because it came together so fast. It's possible, okay? With the Chariot, there is definitely fast motion with this from the beginning, but it seems like right now it's more, the motion coming at you fast is decisions that have to be made right now, you know, and they have lasting effects. So it's hard to make those kind of decisions on the fly, but you're being pushed to do that for some reason. Definitely a hectic union from day one, really. In a good way for sometimes, and sometimes in a very bad way, but definitely hectic, it looks like. So the challenge right this second in your current situation is the Hangman. This is you needing a new perspective, or it's the fact that you're just stuck and stagnant. You're claiming to be stuck anyways. I think you could probably get unstuck if you tried, but you don't seem to want to try. You're comfortably stuck, baby. But that's your challenge right this second. So let's go towards the near future. In the near future, I have the Page of Swords, the Hermit, and the Judgment card. Okay. In the near future, it looks like with the Page of Swords, there is an element of you trying to find clarity. This has been fun. You know what I'm saying? Had a good time. Yay. You know what I'm saying? Got pictures, got the t-shirt. But it's starting to wear on you a little bit. You know, this constantly not knowing what's next. And, you know, one day you guys are hot and heavy and the next you're not talking to each other and there's fighting. It just feels like there's a lot here. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of hot and cold energy. So in the near future, it looks like you're, whoa, come on, let's figure this out. Okay, what are we doing here? You're trying to go into hermit mode, pull your energy out, shed light on the situation, see if you can't figure something out. In the end, it looks as though you call judgment on this situation. The way this is playing out makes me wonder if this isn't some sort of a twin flame ideal for you, something like that. It just feels so hot and cold that's what makes me wonder if that's not what you're dealing with here. At any rate, it looks like in the near future, you do end up calling judgment on the situation just because you need something that has, you just want to know where you stand. And you can't know where you stand here because it changes constantly. That's what it feels like. Behind the Page of Wands, I have the Nine of Swords and then the Five of Cups. There's definitely a sense of loss and regret here after you call judgment, and it definitely has you real far up in your head, but it's almost like you're being left with no other choice. You know, you can't, it's not sustainable. Not attainable. It's not sustainable. You can't be in this kind of a mode for a long period of time. It'll make you bonkers. That's the way it goes. I have the Ace of Swords and the Sun, followed by the Five of Swords. There's truths here that aren't being spoken, that need to be, and the light's going to be shown down on that situation. You know, there is conflict here as well. I don't know if one or both of you was not really available when the two of you came together. If so, that's a twin flame indicator often. So I don't know. Sometimes it seems like. Let me get the days of the week out. Monday, you've got the Seven of Cups and the Page of Cups. Somebody's trying to bring forward an apology. It's about half-assed, you know. You know you have plenty of options. It's just this is the option you want, right? Tuesday, you have the Hierophant and the King of Swords. This person that you want to have this higher level of commitment towards is suddenly feeling very cold to you on Tuesday. And it's very worrisome. You don't understand what happened now, right? Yesterday you're apologizing, today you're cold. Wednesday I have the Three of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. So this person still wants to collaborate with you. Both of you know you have to get this into calmer waters or it's going to explode. It's going to just, you know, pull itself apart here if you don't. Thursday we have the Empress and the Two of Pentacles. There's just a huge amount of imbalance here. You guys have got to figure out a way to compromise and find some sort of solid ground to stand on, because what you're doing right now, you're both going to drown in this, you know, in the chaotic water. It's not going to, you have to figure out a way to fix it, okay? That's what I see. So there you go, Scorpio. Looks kind of hectic, kind of dramatic. Perfect. It'll be no big deal. No, it's okay. No matter what the cards say, go out and make it the best week you can. I will be back on Wednesday with bonus readings, try to get you through the weekend. I'm here every day with the daily energy check-ins. If you want to check those out, there you go. It'll be great. You know, that's how this goes. It's a never-ending roller coaster ride, right? That's how I look at it. It's going to be okay. All right, y'all. Thank you for everything. All of you are just absolutely wonderful. Thank you.